Hi guys, welcome to Brains and the Beat. If you're new here, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're old but goodie, thank you for staying tuned to your girl. So in today's video, I wanted to do a story that came out in the Miami Herald recently about Jamaica. And we always talk about a lot of bad stuff that happened in Jamaica, so I like to even out the playing field with mentioning good stuff. While spring breakers were still cramming South Beach bars earlier this month, Puerto Rico's government was trying to turn down the tourism-dependent island into an inhospitable fortress. Starting on March 16, Government Wanda Vasquez shut down the island, beaches, clubs, and all non-essential businesses. She closed schools, government imposed a nighttime curfew, and required all residents and visitors to stay indoors throughout the end of the month. This week, she finally got permission from the federal government to close down all but one airport for commercial aviation, forcing incoming passengers to run a gauntlet of health screeners who are informing them that they must spend their first 2 weeks indoor and isolated. While much of the US mainland is just starting to take serious measures to stop the propagation of the coronavirus, Puerto Rico has been an outliner, putting up bolder barriers faster than perhaps any other US jurisdiction. And it joined a small hemispheric club that includes Jamaica, El Salvador, Peru, and a handful of others that responded to the crisis with forceful measures that seem excessive just days ago, but now seem precedent. Jamaica was one of the first countries in the Caribbean to react to the coronavirus after seeing its first case on March 10th. The country barred flights from hot zones, restricted the movement of tourists, enforced quarantines for all new arrivals, and canceled school, among other measures. It has also put part of an entire town, Bull Bay, on lockdown. On Saturday, the country closed its two international airports to all incoming passengers for at least 2 weeks. Now, while Jamaica has 26 coronavirus cases, neighboring Cuba has 57 and the Dominican Republic has at least 392 according to Pan American Health Organization. While health professionals say such draconian isolating measures are the only true safeguard against novel virus, it's still too soon to tell if the strategy is truly working, as Latin America and the Caribbean is only just beginning to experience cases. Transmission of COVID-19, it is far too early to evaluate the effect of any distancing measures that particular countries put in place, said Ashley Baldwin, a spokeswoman for Pan American Health Organization. If you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. Okay, if you're not, you're missing out, and you're missing out big time. Big time. Okay, you're missing out on so many fun stuff. My Instagram is Brains&Thebeat. The only difference is it's BRAINAND and BEAT. It doesn't have the and sign. You have to spell it out, AND. So Jamaica is said to be one of the most prepared countries for COVID-19, and we have to give props where props is due. We beat Andrew enough time on here because of his incapability of reducing the crime rate in Jamaica, but with this whole coronavirus thing, I felt like he handled it carefully, he handled it cautiously, and he also put Jamaica's people's life on the forefront. That the thing is, I felt like they did a piss poor job. The last 3 years they were in power, the JLP, and we won't go into that because that's a whole different video. But I feel like with this coronavirus situation, they're doing a great job, and where props is due, props is due. However, I also feel like on the other hand, this is all a ploy because this year is an election year and they're doing it just to save face. But you have to give them props because they're doing the right thing. They're putting Jamaican people first for the first time in a long time. I feel like they did a bad job with the dengue situation, or the so-called dengue situation. They waited until of people died before warning Jamaica's public, before putting in precautionary measures in place, and Jamaican people paid. We saw a lot of kids die. We saw a lot of older people die. And I feel like with this whole coronavirus situation, they didn't want that to happen again. And that's why they did the whole precautionary measures with shutting down the schools, shutting down the airports, and all of that. So props to him and Christopher Tufton for doing their jobs. I'm not going to big them up because I think they've done an amazing job the whole other years that they've been in power. No, I'm going to give them props because they're finally doing what they have been paid to do. And Jamaica, I see a lot of people like boosting this thing up like I've never voted for JLP, but because of this whole corona situation, may I vote for JLP. And I think it's a bit excessive, especially on social media, because they haven't done a great job the whole time. They've just done a great job with this particular instance. And if you're going to vote, it needs to be on an overall performance, not a performance of one thing. It should be an overall overview of what they have done to benefit not only you, but also the economy, the crime rate, and Jamaica's people on a whole. With that being said, shout out to Andrew. He's doing a great job. I hope he continues to do a great job because that is what Jamaican people pay him for. Props where props is due. So big up to Andrew, big up to Christopher Tufton again. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.